AAC championship game. Cincinnati's going to get challenged by Houston. Dana Holtz has done a terrific job at Houston, making them relevant again. The only game they lost was their opener against Texas Tech. Since that game, they scored at least 28 points in every single game. They've got a nice quarterback in Clayton Tune. He's done a terrific job completing almost 70% of his passes, 26 touchdowns, 8 interceptions on the year. Both these teams have played great football. They're both undefeated in the conference, 8-0. You can look at the other side, Desmond Ridder. He's the big guy that's supposed to be a first-round draft pick. He's done a nice job this year. I've watched him a couple of times. He hasn't really, truly impressed me like he did last year. I thought he had a better year, but he's still completing 66% of his passes for 3,000 yards, and he's leading his football team. But I like the physicality of this football team. They're number 1 in the AAC in total defense. They're number 3 in the nation in scoring defense at just less than 16 points a game. They're a 10.5-point favorite at home, Cincinnati is. I'm taking Houston in the points in this game. I'm not that sure that Cincinnati's that good. Yes, they beat Notre Dame. Yes, they beat Indiana. Taking Houston in this game with a 10.5. They may win this game outright. I've got Cincinnati winning this game 34-31.
Well, Mark, they're a 10.5-point favorite, but I do not see it. You look at all the stats for both teams, they're so similar from quarterback and center. The defense for Cincinnati is very, very good, but the stats are very similar. Cincinnati's 44th on total offense. They're 8th on scoring. They're number 3 on goal line defense. I mean, the stats for Cincinnati is very, very good. They're 8th on defense and 3 versus the pass. When you look at Ridder, he's had outstanding stats, but they aren't any better than the quarterback tone at Houston. You look at Houston, they've won 10 in a row. They lost their opening ball game and rattled off 10 in a row. Their offense is okay, 54th in total offense and 10th in scoring. How does that figure out? How do you have 54th in total offense, 10th, and figure out to be 10th in scoring? It's because you have an excellent defense. The defense at Houston is underrated. Their total defense is 6th. They're number 8th in the country against the runs. Their turnover ratio is their 4th. They get 1 turnover a game more than the opposition. They have a great third down defense, only 28%. That's why teams can't score an awful lot on them. They have a good punt return, averaging 15 yards a return. Quarterback Tony, he has 3,000 yards, 26 touchdowns, 8 interceptions, almost identical with Ridder's stats. When you look at McCaskill, he has 850 yards, 16 touchdowns, a running back, very similar to Cincinnati. So when I look at this, Mark, I agree with you. I think it's a toss-up game, but I'm going to pick Cincinnati to win the football game, 28-27, but I would not be a bit surprised if Houston beat them.